Okay, Waiting in Queue, episode 8 now, and for everyone's information, the average cancellation or uh giving up point in podcast is episode 7. So in doing episode 8, we have beat the average. So I'll give us a little pause.
That's
right
where
there.
the bad luck came from.
And it's like you guys were Always Sunny in Philadelphia first season when you didn't have Frank there, and I came along and just.
I'm going to stop you right there, and I'm going to tell you that while I definitely agree that you are our Frank, I think this kind of thing was way better in the first part, and now sucks.
Right, like Frank made it worse than Sunny, but he actually didn't. But in our show, it's the opposite.
Well,
or like
Frank
I'm
brought all the
Bubbles coming along in Trailer Park Boys.
I will give you that as what you're making good references, but I don't know if I believe the situation.
Yeah, the situation's not the same exactly.
He keeps saying things that I know he is.
Well, it's kind of weird seeing 5 people up here.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's quite
it is weird.
Mitchell, this is first.
Mitchell's finally here. His first episode.
There was a vote in the emails, Mitchell, to keep you out of the podcast.
Yes, sending emails now.
No, we're not sending emails.
Our fans are.
The fans are.
That's because the fans don't know me. Once you get a little taste of me, you never go back. What are you doing, cat? Come here. I gotta find a name for this cat.
I think you just found it, cat.
What'd he say? What'd you say?
I don't know. He just kind of lunged forward.
Mitch, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so his
I'm
video
watching this
is a little,
shifty bastard.
As long as his audio is not off, he should be fine.
So what do you got for us?
Okay, I saw a couple interesting things. I saw Xbox canceled a lower end next gen Xbox because of Google Stadia. I don't know. Have you guys seen anything about Google Stadia?
No,
Google
I have not.
Google Stadia.
I've read a little bit, but
it's a streaming video game service. You buy this device for like $140, and it's like a little tiny like device.
Yeah.
You plug it into your TV, and it comes with a controller, and it's a console, but it's streaming from like their servers
Online.
So it's like a Netflix but for video games. It's only like $140, like I said, to buy, but then it's like $10 a month, and then all the games on there are yours.
Damn.
So they're really trying to cut into the casual player business, and Xbox was doing its next gen console, which is going to be a little bit more pricey, kind of like the Xbox One X. It's the higher end one. But then they're also going to do a lower budget one, like maybe one without a disc tray.
But yeah, that's just they're just making an Xbox One S.
Yeah.
With no disc tray. It's not it's not an X. It's not a higher.
This one was the one that they canceled though is for the next generation, like to go with the next generation Xbox too. So there would be 2 Xboxes that come out. One's the cheap one, and then one's for the more people who worry about graphics and performance. But they canceled it because of Google Stadia kind of taking that audience.
What's it look like?
I think it's like a little disc. But like I think there's already like 30 or 40 games like on it, like signed ready to get on it.
Destiny 2 is going to be on it.
Yeah, Destiny 2. I don't remember.
I'm excited for Destiny 2.
Yeah. Like the Destiny 2 thing's a pretty big deal, so I know that's like a big turning point for him.
Oh, also Ben, I got a cat.
I see that.
To go along with his pussy.
Now he's got 2 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
Oh wow.
Mitchell's kid is the only one that's not gonna have a pussy.
Oh fuck! Look at his face. Just like, oh man.
Like we're trying to keep this show clean.
Oh,
Mitchell, if you've seen any of the other episodes, it's far from clean.
Derek told everybody who watches it, like, fuck you, practically, on one episode. So.
Oh yeah, that happened.
There's no. It gets real bad.
So when are we starting this thing?
We've already started
rolling,
it.
Buddy.
It's rolling.
Like,
Look at Mitchell. What do you mean?
Not prepared for that.
I was about to say some racist comments.
I thought this was like a little like a meet and greet kind of thing, like a.
That's what we normally
we
do
did for like a half hour getting you guys set up. As soon as like you left to get the cat or something, and Connor came back, I started it because we wasted too much time.
Yeah, well, I had to jump through a lot of hoops, you know.
It's just kind of, this is just what it is, Mitchell.
Okay, well, I like it.
So there's the cat again.
I kind of just watched that Elden Ring trailer. That looks super, super, super fire.
Did they show anything else besides the trailer?
No, I just or they might have. I just watched the trailer,
okay.
But I was just getting hype on that. And then I also just watched that Blasphemous. Again, I was telling you guys about that side scroller that's really soulsy. I'm very excited for that. I'm like, I cannot wait.
I wish though it wasn't only on fucking PlayStation.
Is that confirmed? It's like an exclusive?
It's the only thing that's on like the console list. So
because it seems like that kind of game seems like it would be ideal for PC, but
yeah, it would run really good on PC. There's another article about Elden Ring though, where they're talking about it. It's just like it's supposed to be like a new genre to the whole Dark Souls. They're trying to get away from the normal that they're doing and making a new Dark Souls in the sense of like there's more to do.
But it's not. It's not a dark.
Speaking of Dark Souls,
well, I was gonna say, contrary to popular belief with me, like I don't want another Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like with Dark Souls 3, that they ended it perfectly. The Ring City DLC was amazing. Like it just ended really well, and I think to add another installment would be like doing the whole like stretching it past where it should be stretched.
Well, and didn't they say they did end the Dark Souls series and now they're working on other stuff?
Yeah. Like Miyazaki said he was done. Like he's like the lead design dude, but he said he would let somebody else take over and do another Dark Souls if that's where they wanted to go. But I don't see that happening. And if they did, it probably would ruin the series.
Speaking of Dark Souls, though, so I saw something that intrigued me. Granted, I thought of Ben, which is not the situation you want to be in when you're thinking of Ben. Anyway, I was looking at porn. All right.
Oh my God.
One of the ads on the top right said, "Just like Dark Souls," and it was just this porn video game that was like Dark Souls.
Did you play it?
Wait a sec.
I had the time to play it. I was gonna time crunch.
Did you save the link to send it then?
No, I'm sure it'll pop up again.
Was this one you recommended?
No, this was just an ad.
Another Mitchell recommendation.
Yeah.
This is just on an ad that popped up.
Oh God.
We all know.
Oh, that was bad. Yeah, I know the reference.
Mitchell's recommendations are not anything you should just take lightly.
Oh no.
He says they're just put there.
I'm telling you, they are. They
are. I don't know. Recommendations usually have a tie-in to what you search.
Yeah.
Well,
like it's recommended for you because of your previous search.
We can keep this tied in. So you get this recommendation about a Dark Souls. What do you call it? A Dark Souls porn game, Mitchell? Is that what you call it? Bingo. All right. Now you play a lot of Overwatch, and we all know Overwatch has a lot of porn. So my guess is There was a search for that, and then you had the recommendation for the other video game.
I'll be honest. I sometimes get a little curious. You know. Although sometimes, sometimes it'll be like Bastion going. And I was like, I don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Bastion's a bitch-ass character anyway.
Wait, you just dislike it because of his playstyle, not because of him just being a robot?
No, I just don't want to see a robot cock, Derek.
Sheet metal cock.
Who's the
sheet metal?
Who's the female on the other side?
I don't know. Knowing this, it'd probably be like Zarya or something.
Oh my god! Yeah, but I thought she hates the Omnics.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The Omnics.
That's what makes it so wrong.
She's got a little more to hate. Definitely a hate fuck going on there.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Mitchell's first episode, and he's already talking about video games.
It's all perverted. I think we've successfully done every episode without talking about porn until Mitchell joined.
Fellas, I bring what the people want.
I do believe you are correct, Derek.
The worst part about it is it's video game porn.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, lucrative industry.
Yeah, it ties into our whole thing here.
Yeah, see, it all comes back together.
How do you even transition off of that?
I don't know.
I think the podcast is just over.
Well, usually I just turn my phone off. That's my usual transition.
Have you ever turned it off and then forgot that it's on, and then you pull it up? You're in a public place.
Oh no, I made that. I made that mistake once when I was a middle schooler. It will happen again. And the worst thing is,
y'all are fucking like pull it up and forget you're connected to a Bluetooth that's like in the living room.
And then it goes.
You're like, why is there no sound?
Wait a minute here.
I fucking hate you guys. I hate you guys. I don't even know what to say now.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay.
Well,
goodbye.
Overwatch has really been boning me.
In the porn or the actual game?
No, they've never let me down in that department. In the actual game, because the penalty for when somebody leaves your game, you still get. Derek played.
My gosh, yeah, Mitchell.
2 back-to-back games. We had somebody on our team leave, dropped us 40 SR a game.
Yep.
Man,
that was insane. That was annoying. It was our first 2 games of the night too.
So I haven't been playing a lot of Overwatch. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I just got off. I hopped on and lost 80 SR points.
Yes. In 2 games because somebody left.
Mm-hmm.
What were you saying, Cody?
Started playing. I was gonna say yesterday I just started playing Rainbow Six Siege. Take that back. I've tried it 2 games in the Rainbow Six, and then I said, oh fuck that, because I didn't know all the characters and shit. But dude, yesterday I was kicking some ass.
Nice.
Pretty fun little game.
I heard that game is doing really, really good still.
Yeah, the community for it's pretty strong. They're salty as fuck. They're like a toxic community, but
they're so mean. If you don't know what you're doing, they're super fucking mean.
It's worse than, in my opinion. Sometimes it gets a little more aggressive than the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies used to. There was more vulgarity in the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, but here it's I don't know, on some other shit.
Yeah, Rainbow, but they're still pulling strong. I saw there was new operators and shit they had that they dropped into the game, and I was like, oh, I'll check it out again. So I re-downloaded it, played it yesterday, and I was like, oh shit, kind of fucking like this.
Are you playing it on Xbox?
Yeah. Yep.
I wonder how the new Modern Warfare is gonna do.
I don't know.
We'll see. And what kind of Battlefield they're going to be dropping out.
Battlefield's not doing too hot, so.
No. Well, they had. Hardline ruined that whole Battlefield series for me.
Hardline would have been so cool though, if it was like
Done right.
done right. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the
Well,
whole
they didn't
cops and
have-
robbers thing was I think it's such a good idea.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
someone needs to do that, but needs to do it better.
They
than
just
EA.
didn't have like people loved the vehicles, the tanks, and they took out one of their like staples that they had going against.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, what the Hardline should have been is just like a DLC for.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
because I think Mitchell and I we paid $60 for it, and it was definitely
Yeah.
at most, if it was just a standalone, probably like a $30.
$30.
Yeah.
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 Like I would have paid 20, 25 for the DLC for that, and they could have just kept out the campaign or something, or shortened it because the campaign wasn't good.
Campaigns never hold up, I think.
Yeah, that's what they did for Black Ops.
Yeah. And the whole I heard Battlefield
Straight
5 isn't as
Battle
good, but
Royale.
I think most people are just playing the Battle Royale part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking kind of over that whole niche. So
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I hope they start getting rid of some of like have it, but don't make it your prime focus about the game.
Well, I linked it in the Discord. The only battle royale that was really announced at E3 was that Fall Guys.
I don't even see that as a battle royale. I see that as like a puzzle barrage game. Like it doesn't seem at all a battle royale, so I don't understand why they're calling it.
They're considering it a battle royale because you're going in a group of 100 people and you're going through the puzzles and obstacle courses until one person is left.
Yeah, but we have games like that already, so it's like, why call it a battle royale? I don't know if
They
they're
might
just
be
doing that to hit that niche, but it's like,
yeah,
it's annoying because
They're
like-
doing it to sell it. Is why.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
and
not because they want to. Yeah.
you
That's
look
why
at
it's so
E3 and
bad.
there was like none. There was like really no battle royales announced except for the Fallout one, which
Yeah.
honestly, the Fallout battle royale has brought back a pretty large amount of players to the game.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of people who are streaming it, like big name streamers that I don't think are getting paid to play it, because usually you're obligated to say, and I haven't heard them say it. But like, what's his name? Shroud's playing it, and like that's his like all-time favorite battle royale now.
wow.
And it was,
Hmm.
I mean, it's built
Yeah.
off of Fallout, 76,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the greatest game. So
No, I mean, I was actually just playing Fallout 76. It's gotten a lot better. If
Yeah.
they would have released the game what it is now when it released, it would have kept player base.
I agree.
But it just
Yeah.
wasn't. It was too glitchy. It wasn't that like the game itself was bad. It just had too many
Yeah,
like,
and that's
people like
Many
yeah.
bugs and
that's
Yeah,
the
people
huge
would
thing.
like freeze or like you just do all of this
Well-
stuff and the game would freeze and kick you out and you'd lose it all.
speaking of, we were just going on a rant about games that were supposed to be really good and turned out to be shit. And I'm not even going to bring up the
Anthem.
A word. And we all know what game that is. But
Yeah.
Connor doesn't like using
From
that word
that,
anymore in the podcast.
I saw a article about how this game, you guys should know which game this is. I won't even say the name. I'm just going to say a sentence about it. Went from janky community project to the biggest melee brawler on PC. What do you think that is, Connor?
The biggest melee brawler?
Oh, this cat definitely just farted in my
Mordhau.
face.
Yeah.
Oh, Mordhau.
That's what I was thinking it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That game wasn't even supposed to make it, apparently, like, period.
no. It was
Now it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
it was well, it's funny that you said that because it's kind of like a clone of Chivalry. It is a clone of Chivalry. Made by different people, but it's drastically better than Chivalry, being almost the exact same game. It's just drastically better. Graphics, movement, style, everything that you do in Chivalry looks like shit compared to Mordhau.
So basically, the objective is like the same.
It's identical. I mean, it's just giant, crazy battles. But Mordhau did it so well that people saw it, and I mean, I never even touched Chivalry. because it was so shit. And then you have Mordhau, which is the same thing, and it just skyrocketed past it. The actual developers of Chivalry were so like distraught by it. They just made Chivalry 2 and released Chivalry 2, and it's shit. Like, it's terrible. And it like they just dug a bigger grave for themselves because
that's a shame.
Mordhau. And
shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, it's
should have taken their time instead of just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I think
Chivalry too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what's funny about it is Chivalry has like twice the members building the game. Mordhau is just a small team.
Yeah.
It's an indie developer, and the fact that like they completely like dethroned something that was out for years and it only took them a couple months is insane. So
yeah, well, they said, what was it? Yeah, 5 years ago, long time Chivalry. Yeah, so it does mention in this about Chivalry being pretty much identical.
Yeah, I mean it's a clone. Like, it's identical in the sense like the only thing that seems different is you have better customization for characters and your graphics are like a wee bit better. But
they sold 1 million copies so far of Mordhau, and 500,000 of those in the first week. And then they had 60,000 concurrent players were online during its first full weekend. So those same 60,000 are still there, plus more.
What is funny is Derek's the one who brought it up to me. You sent me the video or something of it, and then I was like, I watched the first video and I was like, oh, I'm getting it, like guaranteed. That's amazing. That looks so good. And I had no idea what Chivalry was. So I feel like if I saw Chivalry before this game came out, I probably would have played that too. But I had no idea. So like Mordhau wasn't marketed or anything. I think just what happened is just the Chivalry community saw it and they were like, holy cow, this is pretty cool. It's just like the game we love to play. And the community in Chivalry kind of ruined their own game. So they were like, why don't we just go play Mordhau? It's a new game. So like the community itself is like what killed Chivalry. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because the guy who the guy who basically built the prototype for this game, he built a team of like, I mean, some of these guys who were helping him create the game were as young as 17 years old and weren't getting paid, period. Nothing. It was just kind of a thing they wanted to do because they loved the idea of the melee with Chivalry so much that they wanted to make it themselves. And I mean, nobody was getting paid to do it or anything. It was just kind of like, you know, out of hobby, I guess I could say, best way to put it. And it blew up. I mean, now it's so big, but yeah, so they didn't even think, I mean, none of them had ever created a video game before, like as far as like trying to sell it, any of that, and wasn't supposed to make it, and now it's so huge. So especially, I mean, and on PC as well. It's not like a console game or anything, you know what I mean?
Right.
So PC is probably the best way they could have went, and they did. So
yeah, PC is what really makes it good, I think, just because of the mouse handling for the weapons.
Yeah.
So anybody, this is randomly off topic. Has anybody ever heard anything about the Silent Hill, the PT trailer game? I know it died, but then I heard they were trying to get a petition to
get it back.
Yeah. And I saw something about it. Might be.
I remember people like when the PTR came out, and then they decided to cancel it. People with it downloaded on their PlayStations were trying to sell their PlayStations for a good chunk of change.
Oh, they were worth making too. That PlayStation be going for like $1,000.
It was a trailer for a new
Silent Hill
that they were making, but that was back in 2014 that the trailer was out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think a lot of those people that were making that game, those people that the game was canceled, and then they made that game that's coming out that was on E3 with Norman Reedus.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That was the game that they were supposed to be making. they started with the PT, and Norman Reedus was supposed to be in Silent Hills PT in 2014, but I think what happened is they scrapped it, and then they went and made the game that's coming out now.
Okay, maybe that's what reminded me of it, because I saw something that reminded me about it pop up.
It was probably that, because Norman Reedus was used in the trailer for PT at Gamescom, and now Norman Reedus is in what is that game called? Death something, Die something, I don't know. Death Strand? Death Stranding, that's what it's called. That's the new game coming out with him in it.
Yep, Death Stranding.
Yeah, and that game looks insane. I mean, it's made by the same people who make the Silent Hills, so I think that's what happened to that game. It just kind of died off, and they were like, because you know how there was like babies and stuff in that trailer?
Yeah.
In the site, well, there's still a huge circle around babies in Death Stranding. It's crazy.
Creepy.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
It was a good trailer. It was like
it was fun. It was scary.
It was one of the scariest games, I think, to be pushed out, and the fact that like so many people played it.
Yeah, a lot of people played it.
I hope that those people go and play the other game. I wonder how many people download it.
I'm surprised they scrapped it. It got big quick.
You guys see the Apex Legends dragon appearing?
No.
Yeah,
I haven't been on Apex Legends in a while.
I heard about it because some people, when the first season came out, because it was called Wild Hunt or something, or Wild.
Season 2 is about to start. So
everyone was predicting in season 1. Everyone was like, well, in the in Titanfall lore and all that stuff, the rebels would go and destroy the like beacons that keeps the wildlife, alien life forms away from their bases. So then they would just let the animals attack. So everyone was thinking in season 1 that those devices were going to fail and then those dragons were going to come in, which now they finally are in season 2, or did they already come out?
No, it should be season 2 here is what it's saying. And they're going to be death boxes. So I think you can shoot them out of the sky and take whatever, I don't know.
Those that's happening right now in the game. It's a live event right now that happens before the start of season 2.
Oh, okay.
And right now there's like wyverns that fly around, and certain ones that you kill will drop death boxes. And then you can loot from the death boxes. It's like another like chest.
But
same thing as a dragon, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The dragon though that was shown in the trailer is like gigantic, and that hasn't showed up yet, if it is even going to. And then the new character comes out, and she has like a big connection to like all the animals and stuff, I guess. But season 2 hasn't started yet, but they like added challenges to the game. They'll let you get like skins and weapon skins.
Helps you with your battle pass, doesn't it?
Yeah, it helps you level. Well, they're changing how the battle pass levels. So remember how like I was complaining that the fact that like, well, not just me, but it was ridiculously hard to level that battle pass.
Like, 600 hours if you played with a teammate to level it to max.
And they should just do what Fortnite does. It's the best way to do it. Fortnite has mastered their microtransaction section of the game. So it's like, that's just what, if you're going to put a battle pass in the game, have it easy to level and have it the same way that you level the battle pass of Fortnite with your character level, not so much like an XP game. So they said that they're going to like lower it so it's way easier to get those rewards. And I guess with some of the skins that they've already showed off and given out now, the skins are tremendously better than what they were first battle pass. Like really good. And the weapon skins are crazy looking now, and they have like color auras coming off. I mean, they're just insane. It's which is really good because the game was dying. So
I feel like a lot of battle royale games are gonna be having struggle to keep player base coming soon?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of good games coming out. So
hey, speaking of the battle passes and paying money to do all that, I saw EA is trying to cover their ass on the loot boxes.
Oh yeah,
Calling
yeah.
them surprise mechanics.
Special surprise, yeah.
Well,
you know what? They compared it to like those toys at like stores.
Kinder eggs.
Yeah, where like
yeah,
you can. Here's a list of toys that could be in this package. So depending on what one you open, it's like a random loot box or like not loot box,
right.
but
nobody likes those toys.
No,
like I don't even know why they would even say that.
And all those companies even know, like once you get those kids like hooked onto it, the idea is for them to keep buying the same toy, trying to get that last piece of the puzzle. So they'll have to buy more than they wanted to.
And it's also made for the sense of like collectors who collect those figurines. They go out and instead of buying like 5, like a little kid would buy 5, and then the little kid's like, oh shit, I didn't get them, I want to buy 5 more. A collector will buy like a box in a crate, and they'll get like 100 to 200 of them and still not get all of them. So then they go out and buy another crate. Like that's what.
All right, are we still talking about crates of eggs here?
It's always crates of eggs.
I think the representatives from EA, they met with UK, in the UK, their parliament, which is basically our lawmakers and shit, but there's parliament, and I think there's more of an issue over there than it is over here in the US.
With loot boxes,
it looks like, but they're touching subjects as far as age verification, so that may come into play here soon.
Oh, the only problem with that is people just lie about their age online.
I know,
but
it
doesn't solve anything.
I don't know how that would, how they'd end up doing that, but yeah.
I mean, there are parents out there who like then buy a console for their kid and then they set it up and then they put parental locks on it. I mean, in that sense, those kids will be locked out. And I think if you're buying a console for a kid and they're playing Fortnite or they're playing games that have these microtransactions, you want to have those parental locks on it, because you always hear the stories of like kids buying like hundreds of thousands of dollars on microtransactions.
When my uncle came to me about buying an Xbox for Corbin, I knew how Corbin is, and I told him, do not put any of your card information on the Xbox because the Xbox saves it. So when Corbin goes in to see the V-Bucks and goes to like, get more, and then he just sees the credit card pulls up, he doesn't know what that
realize
means.
it.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He's just like, oh, yes. Does this give me? Yes, do it. And then my uncle comes to him and is like, Corbin, did you buy this stuff? Corbin's like, no. I mean, the parents have to be smart about it too. Like, there's a parental lock in the sense of like just not even putting the card in and like buying all your Xbox time at Walmart or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or just put in like a Visa gift card that has $100 limit.
You know what I mean? So they don't know these things.
Yeah, and like Cody said, people just don't know that those things lock on there. Like, we know that because we've been messing with that shit for fucking years. So I mean,
have you guys ever remembered a time when you like didn't know how to play video games?
No.
See, that's because I've given my controller to Keely and been like, yeah, here, try to play, and they like don't know. They're like, oh, what? How do you move? How do you jump?
How do you look around? How do you do that? And it's just like, what the fuck?
I'm like,
it's right there.
Yeah, I was like, there's not a time when I don't remember how to not play it.
Like when I give it to Lauren, her biggest struggle is figuring out how to like move like your body around and look around with the other joystick.
And look at the same time. Using 2 joysticks at the same time.
And like you can't explain it to him, and I'm just like,
it's so hard.
It's not that hard.
And it's so frustrating to sit there and watch, and you're like, how are you not doing this?
It's like a quantum physics major trying to explain to us like how quantum physics works, and he's like, you freaking idiots. It's easy.
It's just
basic rocket science.
I just remember the first some of the first games that I played was like TAC. Well, my first game I played was like religiously when I was a kid with Spyro. So I played Spyro a lot. So that like really got me to learn how to like use both joysticks at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think just like playing that game and then looking back, I never finished that. I don't even know how far I got through because I was too young to realize that like what I was doing is there's still a story to it. I was just running around blowing fire at fucking monsters for gems.
Dang.
And then we got the remastered versions. We were playing those on the Xbox. I was like, I never even beat this game. I don't even think I ever got through like the first 6 levels. And you know, I'm playing through it and I'm like, holy shit, no, I remember doing this. I remember doing this. But it's just crazy that you just kind of forget all that stuff. But those games then are the games that like taught us how to use the joysticks. And nowadays games are so developed. It's almost like they're not developed for so much new players. They're more developed for people who already play. Yeah,
there's
playing a lot.
Like in the first Halo was the first video game I played because my dad came home with an Xbox and a Halo, and I was like, cool. The very first thing they show you is like how to walk around, and then they take you to this spot where it's like, okay, look up and down, and you can look at those points, and then look side to side, and then you're just like, oh, okay, that's easy.
Yeah,
I ran that first mission about 1,000 times because the way my mind was working at the time was like, okay, I can't progress to the next level until I can complete this level without getting hit once. So like I played that so many times until
I did that too.
I did it for the first
when
like,
I
mission,
first played.
Then like the second mission, I was like, fuck this, it's impossible. So I just actually started playing it. But by then I was used to the controls like the back of my hand. And
I will say in my opinion, one of the all-time best games to introduce you to mechanics is the intro to Modern Warfare 2. Going through like all of that and then putting you through that gauntlet.
Yeah,
and it gave you a recommendation based on how quickly you did that and how many mistakes you made was like amazing.
Yeah, but it's cool how you look at that when you play old games like Spyro and all that. They taught you how to do all the controls. Then you had Halo, and Halo's like the next generation of games. It was like first-person shooter. It was like one of the first in the sense of like super popular. So they teaching you the controls like you were saying, Derek, in the sense that you're in the game, and the reason that you were being told to look up and down and left and right was because you were just getting your suit. You were like just getting like connected to your suit. So it was like integrated in the game. And then Mitchell brought up Call of Duty, which is like, you know, a few years later. And now we're running teaching you how to play the game. I put quotations around it because at that point we already knew how to shoot, reload, do all that. But they integrated it in a way for players who are old that was fun because it was like, oh, this is just part of the story. Like I'm running through a training course.
It's not now like making you feel.
Yeah, but now you look at games, do you even have any of that? Like, do you even have, like, oh, look up and down? Like, you don't have that very often anymore, ever.
No.
I had that in Halo, the very first ever Halo. I do remember that. It kind of
but we're talking about now.
No, yeah. That's what I'm saying is that was way back. Now it's just nope.
Yeah, now
I mean they'll do something.
That's how it needs to be, though.
It's not part of the story. It's just you do this. Okay, sweet. Let's start the actual game.
Yeah,
and then you're just kind of out there.
Or they might just like pop quotations up when you're doing things like.
Yeah,
and that's it.
I feel like that's should be because I've seen a lot of games, not even just like shooters or anything, but like. And ESO, I hate to bring it up, let's not go delve into it, but ESO, they've made it so easy for new gamers to play it, and it's ruined it for people who've been playing it for a while.
That's
what happened. Exactly what happened to WoW.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Like
that is exactly what the fuck got me off of World of Warcraft. I was like,
what kills MMOs? What kills MMOs is making an MMO cater to classic players. Not classic, casual players. If you take an MMO and you make it for casual players, you will kill your MMO. It's just simple.
I thought about this. It itself is not a sound strategy because who's going to be playing the MMO, paying a monthly subscription longer, a casual person or a pro? So why wouldn't you seek to accommodating the pro until like a casual who's If it's too hard for him, he's gonna stop playing. But then when it's too easy and he's still a casual player, when he gets bored of it, he's gonna stop playing.
Stop playing.
Yeah,
yeah,
and he's still gonna stop.
That's why I stopped playing in Legion, because it was like
you're casual.
I got back into Legion. Derek, when was the last time you played WoW? I played all the way up to Legion.
It was a joke. Calm down.
And then so Legion comes out and we're playing Legion, and we're doing Mythic raiding, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I can't run through Mythic raids anymore because they implemented this thing called LFR, looking for raid. So it was like you could pull all these random people into your raids, and then now you're not communicating with anybody. Nobody knows the fights. It could be underleveled characters that don't have any gear ready.
And often was like.
Yeah, and those are all the things that would happen. So like the only way you could really like enjoy the raids back then is like if you had a full-on raid guild. But back then, like now, there's really not much of that, because
there's not much of a community.
Yeah, there's not much of a community. And I think if ESO caters to the casual players too much, that's wrong, because the whole thing is you have ESO, which is your MMO, and then you have Elder Scrolls, the games, like Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, all those games. Like if you want to be a casual Elder Scrolls player, just go play those games. Don't play the MMO. Like the MMO is for the Elder Scrolls hardcore players that are like super into the MMOs, but they want to stay with the Elder Scrolls story. So I don't know. I don't like when MMOs like do that, because
no, it's trash.
I mean, World of Warcraft was by far one of my all-time favorite games ever made, and it was completely obliterated by casual players. So
Yep.
Yeah. I ever since Elsewhere's came out, and I've got a new build and everything. It's not, I mean, there's a little couple here and there things for my build that I need to finish up on, but I can already tell I'm not going to be playing it anymore.
yeah,
they've ruined it so badly. It's kind of a joke now.
You're gonna come and play Classic WoW with Connor and I now.
Yeah, you just come play Classic WoW with your boys. And
I'll hold down the Overwatch fort.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Overwatch is killing itself too, though.
So. Yeah, well, Overwatch is just trying so hard to maintain player base. They're just pumping out new characters, new maps, which is good, but at some point they just need to reevaluate.
They need to reevaluate the entire game. Everything needs to be rebalanced. It's at that point now where you have too many characters in the game. Not too many. You want to have as many as you can get, but you have so many characters in the game, and there hasn't been a full-scale rebalance. It's gonna hurt the game, and that's what they've been talking about doing. Full-scale rebalance.
Yeah, well that's how I mean, Bastion is still broken, and then they added like the maps they're adding just have chokes that like if you play Bastion, you can't do anything.
Choke points.
Like they're just trying to get maps out there to keep players, and they're not thinking about.
I think
they're not balancing as well as they used to.
Yeah, that Paris map is the hardest choke point ever.
Like, I think choke points are important for that game, though, because that's the time
strategy.
Game.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the choke points are good.
But
that one's just so hard.
Are you talking about the castle one where you're coming out on the spawn and they're...
No, this is a new one. I don't think you played.
Over the bridge?
No, this is a
new map.
Yeah, it's a new map.
It's in Paris.
Like new map.
Yeah.
New. It came out probably a couple weeks ago.
Oh no, the Havana came out a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Paris came out before that.
Oh, I have not played Paris. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Paris is like if you have 3 characters, Bastion, Reinhardt, Mercy,
I've played that map.
You're hard pressed to, I mean, unless you have a Sombra, but you need a good Sombra.
Yeah, if Sombra gets caught, she pretty much dies instantly. But the problem with it is it's a choke that's like, it's a pretty long like area you have to go through, like a long like street you have to go through to get to the enemy. But the enemy is on a ledge that can completely guard it, so you have to like keep going around and just keep taking fire.
The final point.
No, this is the first.
Oh,
dude, it's so.
I don't think I truly don't think that's a bad map. I think that there's so many ways to get around that choke. Like
there's ways to get around, but you don't have cover. And so if you don't, and your shields are gone if they play Bastion.
Look at the map on the moon. It's the same thing. You're up on a higher map. There's really not a lot of cover.
Yeah, but
there's nothing wrong with the map. It's Bastion then.
Well, no,
Bastion needs to go.
On the moon, the platform is so much higher. The accuracy drops, and then bullet drop and
the damage
drop is what I meant. But the Paris one, it's so much lower, and it's just enough that you can't like jump up and get up there. You know, it's almost like a little extra wall that they get to fight in.
Yeah, they kind of screwed themselves though, because they made this character Bastion and they changed him before the game was released, and Bastion already was going to be like super OP because it was going to have his own shield.
Yeah.
And they put this character in the game. There's not really much they can do now.
I feel like they don't need to nerf it. They just need to buff something.
If they buff the counter.
He has a lot of counters. I will say Bastion dies extremely, extremely easy. But the thing is,
he doesn't have the right shields.
Yeah, but people barrier him. And then you have Orisa who can put a barrier down as soon as her barrier is down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have Reinhardt, Reinhardt's shield is so massive that it's really hard to break Orion's shield, because usually if Orion's good, his shield is never fully broken. He drops the shield, he starts to hit, his shield's powers back up, his shield's back up. Like
it's line of sight.
Yeah, there's never,
especially if nobody like helps you. If like I used to play.
That's
Ryan
who I play.
As my main when I played. Yeah, if someone doesn't help the person trying to take down your shield, odds are they're probably not going to get it before something else gets them in that process.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a Bastion stationed behind it.
Yeah. And then you have Baptiste, who even if a shield goes down, you throw that and nobody's dying until another shield can be kicked up, whether it's Orisa or Ryan's ready to go.
It sounds so crazy. It sounds like there's just so many ways that if the team really wants to center around a Bastion, they can.
Oh, if you have Mercy, Baptiste,
Mercy that
Orisa,
only focuses
Ryan,
the Bastion.
Yeah, Mercy, Baptiste, Orisa, Ryan, Bastion, and then I don't know, some other DPS.
Yeah, the double shield is just crazy.
It does to me sound like Bastion might not be that OP. It might just be all the factors that happen in game that can just be piled on top of him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about, though, and the fact that the game needs a full rework in characters.
Oh, exactly.
A lot of characters need to be looked at, because it's come to the point where you add like Baptiste in the game, who has this immortality shield, like Mitchell was saying.
Yeah.
And now you have two.
Like, oh no, shields. Bam.
Yeah, shields are down. You throw down the immortality, and people are dumb. People are at low ranks don't know game.
Oh, people won't. People don't focus that.
Yeah, they're not going to shoot that because they're getting shot by a Reaper, so they rather shoot the Reaper and try to save themselves rather than like taking down the immortality and then taking out the biggest character that's holding them back from pushing. This is why I stopped playing, because I'm so low in rank, I can't push up through Platinum because players at that rank don't understand the game smart. And I'm not like the kind of guy who's like, oh, I deserve to be in a higher rank, but I know so much about every character already that I have the game smarts, but I can't be the only one on the team, or three of us can't be the only one on the team for performing at full capacity with game smarts.
I was playing.
It's not intended to be that way. It's not intended to play that way.
With how crazy like game smarts are for people in Overwatch, like they still don't understand it. Tanner and I were playing, and we saw a guy with a max level portrait. Mitchell, I don't know if you were there, or maybe it was like me and you.
No, I wasn't.
We saw a max
I've never
level
seen a max portrait.
And we were like, holy crap, that guy has done nothing but played Overwatch for so long to get that portrait.
Yeah, how many levels is that?
What's his rank?
It doesn't say a rank, it just has his portrait.
If you guys were playing with him, it would have been mid-plat. Lower plat, actually.
He's mid-plat, but he had a max portrait, and he's been playing for that long and hasn't gone past... he's playing with us.
Granted, he might not play competitive as much.
True.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. He probably just doesn't play competitive a lot.
Yeah, because he
just likes the game.
He was garbage, because we lost that game still.
Yeah, if you don't play... if you don't play competitive a lot, maybe he just plays the arcade games, 3v3s and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can get like massive XP from arcade games, and then if you just play quick play with friends, your leveling will go up pretty quick. So
Because you can just keep getting matches. They're so much quicker. Competitive games don't last for shit, or like last forever sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the XP isn't like a whole ton.
Max portrait level though is pretty high. Hang on. I don't know.
Curious.
It's a lot of time. So
yeah, like fucking what level is that?
It's level 1800.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
1800.
That is insane.
Crazy.
Does it tell you how many hours you have to play to average it?
Oh, fuckload.
I'd be
That's all it just says
interested
above
to see.
right on the fucking.
This
Just
guy
a
accomplished it in accumulated of 6 months of hard work, which was made up of entirely 16 to 17-hour days of playing the game.
All right, let me see this. So 6 months.
This was
6 months of 16-hour days.
Does this kid go to school? Like,
Okay,
what?
wait.
He can't
No,
do
no.
anything.
Wait. This was in 2016, and that was not. They've increased it since then.
Even in okay, so
Okay.
it's for 6 months, 182.5 days. Timesing that by 16 hours a day, he said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
16 and 17 hours a day.
So just to max it up in 2016, it would have taken about 3,000 hours.
God.
Yeah, it says here that it was a French player. He actually had no job, and he just played
Imagine
Overwatch.
that.
And
Shocking.
Figures.
Shocking.
he was the first person to max his portrait, which was the gold portrait, 5 stars, level 100. Since then, they've added the platinum and then the double gold and platinum portrait, which is another
10.
600. It'd be 600 levels a pop. So you add that
Oh
to
my
that.
goodness.
So,
That is legitimately on. Like for that dude that you guys played with, he probably only plays Overwatch.
Yeah.
He would
And a
probably
lot.
didn't. He probably
Holy
just.
shit.
Wow. Yeah.
That is
Just for the
disgusting. to
XP.
me. Like,
Sounds like he's just.
the dude with
playing
the
for
6
XP.
months, like that's my
Yeah.
my apprenticeship.
He's not
Like
playing to
it
win.
goes by 6 month periods, and that's more hours than I have to work for my apprenticeship in 6
Yeah.
months. Than he put in Overwatch. That's so insane.
That is definitely
So
some
disgusting.
South Park video game kind of dedication.
Yeah,
Oh.
no doubt.
The World of Warcraft episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was, dude. It's always Blizzard games too that you hear about those sweaty ass bastards. Like holy shit.
Sitting in their
a lot
room.
of people have died because of World of Warcraft. So
Oh,
Yeah,
I know. Like
exactly.
there's you can look up a bunch of things on like people who literally like kill themselves because of World of Warcraft.
Oh,
I've seen the
I
videos.
remember.
What?
Oh, I've
Have you
seen
not
that.
seen those, Cody?
Yeah.
bro. Like dude, in like
I've seen
what
the
was that
dude
like
jump a
2007,
remote up his
2008?
ass, but
No, like there's been like I don't know how many stories, but there are stories of people killing themselves because of World of Warcraft. They like
Dude, it
can't
was
beat
like
a
a
level
hot-
or something.
It was like a hot craze in like I want to say like 2007 or 8 or something. I saw like 6 cases of people who committed suicide, and like one of them was like, I wanted to go be with the Warriors in Azeroth or some shit. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, you probably deserve to die a little bit. That's fucked up. But
I saw a
the
thing.
biggest. Go ahead, Derek.
But I think it was before World of Warcraft. This guy was playing this game, and he was so obsessed with it that he would not like he stopped working, he stopped going to school, he stopped everything, and he when he was forced to get off, he could not handle not being in the game, and then he couldn't handle that reality wasn't this game, so he killed himself because he couldn't accept
Yeah,
the
I
world
saw
for what
that.
it was.
It's nuts.
So
There was
I mean,
one.
so that's
that
a
is
serious mental disorder of some sort or illness. It's not. I don't.
oh
I,
yeah.
I wouldn't blame the game for
Yeah.
that, but
might need to put
that
Ben
would-
on suicide watch.
Just imagine if his For Honor game deleted everything.
Dude,
like, oh my
there was
God.
like that was like going around, and I was no shit never gonna play For Honor again.
Oh, yeah,
my
you're talking
account was one of the
about-
ones that got reset.
When
Yeah.
They're just like
PlayStation was getting their accounts reset, like everybody's
Well,
accounts.
Just the For Honor accounts. People would log in on PS4, and it was like as soon as they log in, all their stuff would disappear. They'd be rank 0,
Yep.
like
I
with
remember
nothing,
hearing
no
about that.
characters unlocked. And I'm like, I play like main Centurion, a DLC character, and I've got like I don't know, 21 days worth of playtime in that one character. If I came in and that was gone, all my armor, like customization and like my rank and shit with that character, I just would never play again.
Yeah, dude, back in like I want to say middle school, middle school or so, almost going into high school, but probably more so middle school. I played the game RuneScape.
Oh, my roommate plays that.
I play RuneScape right now. I'm still a member.
Yeah, I think I still could log in if I wanted to. I'm pretty sure I know my username, and I'm pretty sure I know my password. I think still. Dude, I have like 5 skill capes on that game.
Holy
I had
shit,
man.
Yeah, I played a lot.
Come play ball.
Playing soccer, like that's all I did in school. Fucking RuneScape and soccer, and then sleep.
Wow,
it's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's what I did on my time.
All right, we've gone on for quite a while. It was kind of a weird episode with our startup, so I think now's a good time to end it.
Yeah, I gotta get going. Anyway,
work. All right, Waiting in Queue, episode 8. Now we had quite the lineup. Hold on.
Get your dick out of here.
You got to put the 4 fingers up for number 8.
Right.
There you go.
I forgot to.
I put this one up for you,
Mitchell.
It was just for, and it wasn't aimed at anybody.
Only one.
All right. Have to chop this whole section.
Yeah, just cut it down. Actually, we should just redo the podcast so I don't have to do really anything. All right. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. And we are also on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play Music. If you want to support the channel, go to patreon.com/WIQ. And for just $1 a month, you can download the full episode with an extra 15 minutes. Today is actually probably like 20 minutes of the show starting up. And you get a shout out. You can also email us at waitinginqueue@outlook.com for suggestions and topics you want us to talk about and how we can improve the show. There's still a vote to keep Mitchell out of the show. So
I give the people
vote yes to make the podcast just this much better.
Make the podcast great again.
Mappa.
Oh man.
If you want to see us live, I'm on twitch.com or twitch.tv/FunnySpartan and mixer.com/FunnySpartan, and I'm live every Wednesday through Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. But I am waiting for Classic WoW to come out to start my live stream again. So just hit me up with a follow.
All right.
Who else?
Howdy.
You're leaving? Everyone else is doing their outro.
Well, wait, we still got plugs here, Mitchell.
Yeah. Come on.
You can,
man.
You can just.
I'm not going to do everything.
Are we ready? You can just catch me at
Connor, go ahead.
Facebook.com/gaming. I stream there. Just hit me.
Go on.
That'd be great. All right, next.
All right, you can find me with OLC, my band, on Facebook, Instagram, any form of social media or music streaming. Skeleton Sleepbox on Facebook and Instagram. Dropping some new albums and a music video on Wednesday. So not a new album on Wednesday, just a music video on Wednesday. But check that out.
All right, cool. Cody?
Cody?
Oh, man.
No.
All right, Mitchell, do you have anything?
I was a slightly non-active Twitter.
Oh, hold on.
Cody's going below my box. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes?
Say that.
You can't hear me?
Plug it again.
Not for
do it again.
A little bit.
Oh, it's the lag.
It's because he keeps flipping us off. That's why I've been lagging him.
Lag switching.
All right, Mitchell.
Up.
All right. I'll be honest. I don't have anything. I don't do a whole lot.
Yeah, we know.
I'll eventually
follow
create
Mitchell
something
in the podcast, Waiting in Queue.
Yeah.
Make a Facebook page for Mitchell.
Let me just do Cody's thing. You can find him at twitch.tv/SchweitzerGK.
We got you covered, Cody. Go ahead and take that headset back off.
Well, this happened last week. There's like a big lag to everything, like a full 2 seconds behind. I assume the podcast is done. We cut it there. We're good.